Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will be reviewing a movie titled Dendam Orang Mati. Dendam Orang Mati is a Malaysian horror movie released in 2014, published by the KRU studio and directed by Jason Chong. Jason Chong is a director and writer well known for movies such as Belukar, Adiwiraku, and Kau Takdirku. The main cast of this movie consisted of Lisa Surihani as Lina, the main character of this movie, Fiz Fairuz as Shahrul, Lina's husband, and Mira Liana as Min, Shahrul's second wife. The film tells the story of Lina, who has come out of a coma after an accident that resulted to the death of her son Afiq. Diagnosed with retrograde amnesia the moment she wakes up, Lina was then taken by her husband Shahrul back to her house, where she begins to feel the presence of spirits that starts to push her already fragile state of mind to the limit. Struggling to cope with her husband's negligence in favor of his second wife, Min, she finds solace in a doll given by her late father when she was a child. Between talking to her doll and the disturbance of the spirits, she slowly starts to remember her past. Going into Dendam Orang Mati, my expectation is honestly quite low. Horror is one of my personal favorite genre of media to enjoy. But after watching countless horror flicks, the charm are starting to fall off. Horror has become a predictable genre, with the tropes used in it getting more similar to each other as the days goes by. Because of that, I personally think that it is justified for me to delve into the movie with little optimism. I expect Dendam Orang Mati to be just another horror movie that utilizes shock factor as its main instrument to evoke fear, with a bare-bone, barely there plot. I was correct, partially. One of the most widely used tools in the movie is jump scares. Jump scares are moments in movies designed to provoke a largely reflexive fear response by means of jarring, sudden movement, and changes in sound. I did not like the jump scares used by the director in the movie. Despite of this, I personally do not averse to the concept of jump scares alone. It is ultimately a tool for movie makers to use. It can be used effectively and vice versa. With that in mind, the problem that I have in Dendam Orang Mati's jump scares are pointed more towards the execution rather than the jump scares itself. Jump scares that I use in the movie are heavily telegraphed. Similar camera shots are used in multiple jump scares. As well as the foreboding music used right before the jump scares happen, does not help it in a good way. I was able to anticipate the jump scares before it happened most of the time, making it fall flat and leaving me in disappointment. The director's failure in setting a proper setup for the jump scares made it predictable, which defeats the purpose of inserting a jump scares in the first place. Despite all of this, however, it cannot be said that Dendam Orang Mati is lackluster in terms of storytelling. The movie managed to subvert my expectation by changing its focus to the topic of mental illness, which in turn changed the tone of the movie to that of a psychological thriller instead of the classic horror that I expect it to be. In a subtle way, the director managed to plant the idea that Lena is a mentally ill person throughout the movie, where her condition are used as a medium for them to scare the viewers. Parts of the horror components used in the movie derives from the depiction of a mentally ill person and how they view the world, which I think brought a refreshing take on the horror genre. Moving on to the topic of characters. The main character in the movie is Lena, played by Lisa Suryani. Lena is a wife that has lost her memory on the accident that resulted in her coma, her son's death, and her amnesia in the movie. Later in the movie, it is further revealed that Lena is an individual who suffers mental illness since her younger days. This revelation acts as one of the twists in the movie, in which the line between the good character, represented by Lena, and the evil character, one of them represented by Sharul, Lena, that is Lena's husband, are blurred. Throughout the movie, the camera kept its focus on Lena. The viewers are shown the world in the movie from her perspective. This is one of the methods that the movie managed to become a psycho-thriller, in my opinion. The movie shows a particular scenes from the perspective of Lena and a general perspective. A normal-looking corridor is viewed as filled, splashed with gore, and roamed by horrifying creatures by Lena. This gives the viewers a glimpse into a psyche of a mentally ill person. Lisa Suryani managed to flesh out the character Lena in the movie. Her portrayal of a mentally ill person are believable, from her being horror-stricken to her surrounding to her psychotic rampage when she's furious. Her acting wins her the Best Female Actor award in the 2015 Anugerah Screen. All in all, Dendam Orang Mati is a good movie. I won't mind watching it again in the future.